Hey, sisters and brothers, this is God's Gifts. I wanted to bring a couple dreams that I had that I feel are very important. On September 23rd, I woke up in the morning on the 24th, and I had this dream, and I was in like this camp. It was like a big house, but it was really run down, and there was a lot of people in there. And I'm going to make this dream short because it was very long. But anyway, I was in this camp and I was looking for my daughter, and I went out. I heard these buses coming, and it seemed like a desert place, and in front of me there was a mountain ridge, and I saw these buses coming in, and I was hoping she was on it, and I went over to where the buses were unloading, and the Lord had me notice a few things. First of all, the bus driver, she was a big woman. She had blonde hair, and she was scraping off the frost on her window, and she grabbed one of the kids on the bus, a teenager, a big teenager, and just picked him up and threw them off the bus. And when she did this, I heard an airplane coming, and I looked, and it was just over the mountain ridge, and I heard it losing its engine power. It was screaming. If you guys ever saw the TV show Lost, it was just like that. You could hear the engine screaming, and it was going above the mountain ridge, and I knew it was going to hit, and all of a sudden you heard nothing. I didn't see an explosion or anything, but I looked back at the bus line, and I'm frantically looking for my daughter. And there had to have been like 30 buses lined up unloading people. So I knew this was some type of a camp of some sort. And so I went back to my house, or the room, and it was in this house. It was like wide open, and there was couches everywhere, and people were laying all over them, and it was like you had your own certain couch. And my mom came in, and she needed me to fix her computer. She said there was a virus called CRISPR or Crispix or something like that on it. She needed me to fix it. And she looked so weary and tired. And I said, well, let's go to the cafeteria. There was a little cafe in there, and we're at the counter, and I asked the lady, I said, I don't know why, but I said, can I have a frozen mocha? And she said, yes. And my mom was sitting there with her computer all worried, and I was just like, Mom, don't worry about it. We'll take care of things. Just get something to eat. She says, I'm not hungry. She says, let me pay for it. And I said, no. And she handed the lady her card. She had a credit card. And the lady handed me back this frozen mocha, and it was warm. And I said, can I please get some ice in this? And she said, no. And she says, we don't have any. And I knew at this point that our luxuries were gone. We had nothing. It was just like basic things. And so I went back into the room with my mother, and there was a dog that came in, and my daughter was there, and I was so excited to see her. But I knew if we made too much noise, things were going to happen. And I knew that the Russians were here, and if we made noise, they weren't too far away. They like owned us. And this dog was barking and carrying on, and I went to take it out in this garage next to the house, and it got loose from me. And one of the Russians grabbed me and took me back to their camp. Now, at the time, I noticed that there was trees around, and they had green, the leaves were changing. So I knew when they got here that the leaves were changing. Sisters and brothers, right now our leaves are changing. Later on, I got captured again. I'm trying to make this short. Later, I got captured again by Chinese, and at that time, I noticed the trees, and the trees were bare. They were already here before the leaves fell off the tree. I knew that the Russians were here before the leaves fell off the trees. The Chinese were here when the leaves had fallen off. So that's something I wanted to tell you guys. This morning I woke up from a dream Today's October 27th, 2018. And I woke up and from this dream, it was so crazy. I was going to see my dad, and on my way to see my dad, I'm on my property here, and this huge bear was on my left. It was standing up about 8 feet tall, and it was clawing. I mean, it was just clawing like it was really angry with his paws up in the air, just moving his paws. And I looked ahead of me, and my dad was on a tractor coming towards me. And I was terrified this bear was going to go after him. So somehow I got between him and the bear. And the next thing I know, there was a little cub with this bear. And I had frozen fish in my hand, and I was throwing this fish towards the cub to keep it away. And I woke up. I don't know where the big bear went, but what I want to say about this is when the bear was standing up, this thing was huge, and it was on my left, representing the north. My father on the tractor represents a plowing time. So, sisters and brothers, I just thought I'd bring this to you guys. I felt like it was something that I needed to share. We know we're close. This just adds to what the Lord is showing us. I pray that you guys are blessed. I love you all. Keep your eyes open. The Lord Jesus is coming. If you get a chance, read Haggai 2. I think it has something to do with this. Oh, and I woke up to Psalms 114 after playing this. This is Israel coming out of Egypt. I pray that you guys are blessed. This is God's gift. Love you all.